prior prior to my operation, just in the normal course of how I feel, it would always be on my left-hand side there. I would always get like tightness and pain, and I still do now. You can feel it even when it's so numb. Is that one area where like your bowel movement is the exiting part, that side?
Do you have you ever been diagnosed with like what's that called that Dean has got? Irritable bowel syndrome, or
No, I never have.
that just sounds like you've got
Okay.
something
Anyway, go
devastating
ahead.
in it. But anyway, so there's two valves. So you want to press in and pull back,
Okay.
and not just light, but really press in and pull back. And then at the end you come into those areas and then go down your leg, down and off your leg. You're kind of waking that up. I know you can also massage
Mhm.
just with your open hand, massage that area, try to get things working.
Mhm.
Let me research if there's something more, focused, intense that you can do energy medicine wise. And we got maybe
Okay.
set up another tapping session where we can tap specifically for that. So there's that. Let me write that down. Because I can send you to a website or a video that shows the two valve thing. The Wayne Cook is really good for when your energies are like disrupted, but it also helps circulation throughout the body. And because you have like that, you still have inflammation, you want to get your circulation going up and down your head, or up and down your body, from your head to your feet. Do your feet feel cold? Are your hands cold? Your feet cold? Or
No. No.
And that's good. So the Wayne Cook is, you still can't see it.
That's better.
So you take your right leg, put your foot, the ankle on your knee. So because you have your right leg up, you take your right hand and put it across the bottom of your knee or your foot. And a full cup of coffee in. So you're pressing on both sides of the feet with your hand. Okay.
Okay.
And then you take your opposite hand, which is your left hand, and put it on your ankle. So your wrists are crossing. You want that crossing action again. So it's like this. And then you take a deep breath in and you pull towards you, pull up towards you. Breathe in and then breathe out and relax.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you lift your leg up or just keep it rested on your leg?
You keep it
You're
rested
literally-
on your knee, but you're just pulling the leg towards you. So you're stretching this is a relaxing exercise too. So you pull in and breathe in. And let's relax and breathe out.
All right.
Okay, and you do that 3 times. And then you do the opposite, the left ankle on top of the right knee. So because then you take your left hand and put it on the bottom of the foot.
Yeah.
And the right hand on the ankle. And pull up and breathe in.
What is this supposed to help with?
This helps with, because you're crossing the left and right side hemisphere, crossing of the body. It was actually developed by a guy named Wayne Cook, who helped kids that stuttered and had dyslexia. So it helps organize your energy. So if you're disorganized, like you're having a discussion with somebody and you can't understand, they can't get their point across, or they don't understand you, it's because you're too scattered, and it brings you back centered. So after you do that,
That's good.
then you put your fingertips together, like remember the old where's the chapel, where's the church, and put your where's the people, and then put your thumbs on your third eye. And take a couple of deep breaths. And this helps you, you're connecting all your meridians in your fingertips. And because you're putting on the third eye helps you disengage from everything that's going on outside of you and just getting into your own truth. Just like bringing you centered back into your body. Okay. And there's an easy, this is like the long version of this. The short version would be just to cross your ankle when you're sitting and putting your hands out in front of you, clasp your hands together and bring them into your heart chakra. And cross your
So sit down and like just have the ankles crossed at the ground, or lift them up like a yoga?
No, on the ground.
Okay.
Because you're crossing again. And if you do this standing, and you can't, so you put your hands, back of your hands together, cross your hands, make a fist, and bring them into your center. And you might do this in yoga. Kind of yoga you do. And if you're ever standing and doing this and you can't, you're wobbling, you know you need to do this.
Oh, so I should do this standing to get my own sense of balance.
Right, right.
Yeah, my balance is, even given what's happened, really good still.
Okay.
Okay, this is great.
Okay. And while you're doing, sometimes, while you're doing this lane cook, is a good time to do the gate on the bottom of the feet. Did I tell you about, I emailed you about the spoon, right?
The spoon at the bottom of the foot.
Yeah, it has to be a stainless steel spoon that a magnet sticks to. So while you're here doing the wing cook, you can massage the gate, the top of the feet. Okay, and take your spoon and just draw it down like this. And this is good for your electrical system. This is good for your nervous system. This is good for grounding. And then you can also do the sideways figure eight. Just draw an 8 on the bottom of the feet. Okay.
All right.
And then the hookup you want to do like at the end. When you finish up doing tapping or any of this energy medicine stuff, you do it at the end. It kind of cements any progress that you've made. And it also hooks up, because you're going up the center and you're going up the spine, and hooks up that microcosmic orbit that goes around the center meridian and this meridian here, everything that comes up the spine and over the head. Those are the two that are not bilateral. They only go up the center of the body and the center of the spine. Okay, so they're not on both sides like all the other meridians.
All right, so I was just having confusion how to actually do this.
Okay, so you take one hand and remember the middle finger.
Yeah.
Electric finger. And you
Yeah.
can bunch like 3 fingers together and put them in your belly button. Okay, and then take the other hand and you want to start and go up and then back down the spine. So you can start in your thymus and take a couple deep breaths. And this is actually, it could be like an acupressure technique too. So you can do like a meditation on it and just imagine the energies connecting. So it can be more than 3 deep breaths. It can be, a couple free minutes on each spot. And you keep your fingers in your belly button, and you can take your thumb and your middle finger and put them on those collarbone tapping points, the K27. See that? Okay. And then take a couple of deep breaths. Keep your fingers in your belly button, and you can do the bottom tapping point on the chin, under the lip, and connect those 2 points. And you can imagine drawing like a figure 8 between these points too, if you do like the meditation with them, or just feel that connection. And then we go under the nose. Keep your fingers in your belly button. You need money, honey?
I took it.
Yeah. In your belly button, and you go to the third eye. Okay, love you.
Bye, Andy.
Bye, see you, Russ.
Have a good match, game, whatever. And this is actually the finger in the belly button, and the third eye is the shortcut version of it, where you would press in and pull up on both points and just take a couple really deep breaths. It's called the hookup. And that would be the shortcut, but I'm teaching you the long version, okay? And then you take your fingers and you put them on the top of your head. Take a couple deep breaths. This is called 100 meetings or 1,000 meetings, because all the yang meridians meet up here at the top of the head. Okay, and then just like we did the thumb and the middle finger on the collarbone point, here you want to do them on the back of the head, right on the side of the spine where the skull meets, skull ends, on the side of the neck where the skull stops and starts meeting the neck. So these 2 points, you want to press in on those, and press, keep on the belly button and take a couple deep breaths. These are really powerful points. I don't know if you've ever had Reiki or any energy medicine, usually somebody will, if you're on a table, somebody will hold these points to relax you. These are really powerful points. Okay, then we're going down the spine. So you take your palm of your hand and open it and put it on the base of your spine and point down towards the floor. The fingertips down towards the floor. Your fingertips in your belly button, and just hold that and take a couple 3 deep breaths. And that's the extreme hookup.
Okay, I get it.
And that, like I said, the shortcut is the one that you see people do online and everything. Is just the belly button and the third eye, press in and pull up and breathe deeply. So that's the shortcut version. Called the hookup. And then after you finish that, what you want to do is zip up. So the hookup hooks up the central meridian and the governing meridian that comes up and around. They meet at the back of the throat. The zip up comes up the central meridian, which you have your chakras behind. And the central meridian is like your antenna that you pick up other people's feelings, emotions. When you walk into a room, you can tell what the feeling in the room is, the energy in the room is. And that's all well and good, but you don't want to attract that into your system. You want to be able to tell what's going on without making it your own. So zips up that central meridian. It grounds you, centers you, and it keeps your energy. And you need your energy to heal. You don't need other people's crap coming into your system. So to do this, you just rub your hands together, so you activate your palm chakras, your palm energy. And then you put your hand either on your body lightly or just in your aura. And imagine closing your zipper. You come all the way up to the under the chin point while you take an in-breath here. And then you can actually imagine that you have a key, a lock and a key, and you turn that key in the lock on your chin and throw away the key so that you're locked up. Okay. So that's after you do the hookup, or this extreme hookup, you just want to zip up. So that zips up all that center grounded energy inside of you and protects you from taking on, being bombarded from stuff, especially if you're watching EMF, if you have a lot of electromagnetic frequency in your life, that'll help keep you grounded, help keep you not taking that in. Okay.
All right, perfect.
And if you're ever in any place where you feel like you're taking on other people's stuff and you need to do this real quick, you can just do this, or you can just imagine zipping up. Because once you do this, you have this part of your daily routine, your body knows how to react, your system knows how to react. And you can imagine, if I always give the example, especially for women, walking into a bar, walking into a room, and you see a guy's eyes looking down your body. And I said, what they're doing is they're consciously unzipping you so that you're more open to their influence. So, zipping up helps. And now at my age, it's not so much the guys that unzip me, it's the women that unzip me. So oh, so there you go.
All right, well, that was all very helpful.
Okay. And the other thing, I don't think I talked about the stomach meridian on the knee. Is your energy level still? You still have like waning energy during the day?
Yeah, I just think it's recovering. I mean, I'm getting better and better, but
Okay. So there's a point on the knee. If you put your hand over your knee like this, where your ring finger ends, there's an indentation there on the kneecap.
mhm.
And it's called stomach 36. It's a very powerful point in acupressure. A lot of people use it for a lot of different things. Its nickname is 3 more miles. So it's like when you're worn out and you feel like you can't do anymore, it gives you that extra 3 more miles. And because it's on the stomach meridian, which remember is under the eye, you can't see, but it goes up, around, and down, and off the second toe. It's a grounding meridian. So holding that point with the finger, and then there's a point behind the knee, straight behind the knee, in the crease of the knee in the center. That's a point that helps relax you and helps you when you're having trouble sleeping. It'll help get that hormone in the brain to help you sleep. So you can hold the point behind the knee and the stomach 36 on each knee. And just hold those
And just
points.
keep your leg elevated and do that.
Well, it's easy to do if you're like lying down. It's easier to do.
Ah, okay.
But if you elevate your leg, or I find it easy to do like in the lying down. You can put your legs up to your stomach. But holding this point for 2 or 3 minutes will help, and that's the stomach, the large intestine, the small intestine. I mean, when you're tapping on here, it's the small intestine, index finger is the large intestine. Large intestine also comes up the index finger, and it comes up the arm, and it comes up the arm, comes across the face, and goes back out like to the end of like a mustache, like one of those curly mustaches that guys have. So what could help you with large intestine? Large intestine could be holding those points there and putting your hands over your eyes, like that, or holding the points there and putting fingertips on the external neurovasculars, like putting more pressure on the cheekbone, and really lightly on the external neurovasculars will help. Actually, what you'll notice mostly from it is it'll help starting the saliva in your mouth. You'll notice like you have more saliva, but that's activating large intestine. And what I've usually used with, and if these are sore, you know you need it. Mine are sore. I haven't gone poop yet today. It's just tapping. Is, even though I'm having
Even though I'm
having a hard time making a bowel movement, like it's straining, it's pushing, it's what's the big hurts. You're not getting reactions from your body, or what's the big problem with that?
it feels like I feel the urge to want to go, like especially after I go walking.
Okay.
And then I come to sit down and I've like tried to elevate my legs. I try to lean forward and I feel like I want to go, but it just won't come out. And the bowel movement itself is not super hard. I mean, it's not like ideal, but it looks normal. It's just a matter of why isn't my sphincter reacting to just allow it to come out naturally? So I kind of have to stimulate it and really push, and that's not healthy. I'm giving myself hemorrhoids and I can feel I get lightheaded, and I know it's not good. So I'm just trying to figure out how can I relax. I could feel my body wants to go, it passes gas. I'm on a fast walk. It's right there, but the signal isn't coming to allow it to release. That's kind of how it feels. And then I have to really strain hard, which is starting to worry me because now I'm getting in the habit of doing this every time. And I think my body's adjusting to this sort of mechanism of how I'm doing it. And I want to try to say, no, body, just, you can release it. How do you do it without me literally, feel like I'm going to pop a blood vessel in my brain? I'm pushing so hard. So it's not like I'm not getting a movement because my diet is good. I'm taking some stool softening medication. It's going through my intestine. It's just like not coming out the last at the end. That's the problem.
Okay. All right. Let's do some tapping. So tap the karate chop, say, even though I have this problem, my body feels like it has to go.
My body feels like it has to go.
Especially after I go walking. I feel that urge.
I feel the urge.
But somehow the signal's not going into the sphincter. To allow that natural, easy, comfortable release. That happened before I had this operation.
That happens before I have a separation.
Operation. I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept and love myself.
And my experience. Even though it feels like everything's happening through the intestines. The normal, natural way. But everything gets stuck at the end. And I have to push so hard. To have a bowel movement. That it feels like I'm popping a blood vessel in my brain. I accept my body. And I forgive my body. For making me strain so hard. I know that my body knows. How to allow an easy release.
how to allow for an easy release
when it's time to go,
when it's time to go,
because it's happened before.
because it has happened before.
And even though I'm going through this recovery process,
And even though I'm going through this recovery process,
I'm afraid that my body's adjusting
I'm afraid that my body's adjusting
to me straining so hard.
to me straining so hard.
And I allow my body
And I allow my body
to remember what it feels like,
to remember what it feels like,
to allow an easy release,
to allow for an easy release,
to signal that easy release.
to signal the easy release.
So it's a natural process,
So it is a natural process,
just like it was before.
just like it was before.
On the eyebrow. This problem having a bowel movement.
The problem having a bowel movement.
Corner of the eye. I feel the urge to go.
I feel the urge to go.
I feel like I want to go
I feel like I want to go,
under the nose, but it just won't come out
but it just won't come out
as natural and easy as it used to.
as natural and as easy as it used to.
On the chin, I have to strain
I have to strain
so hard
so hard
that I get dizzy,
that I get dizzy,
and it feels like I'm popping a blood vessel in my brain.
and it feels like I'm popping a blood vessel in my brain.
On the collarbone, and I know that's not healthy for me
And I know that's not healthy for me
or my body.
or my body.
On the center of the chest, and even though it's part of the healing process,
And even though it's part of the healing process,
it's time for my body
it's time for my body
to realize this is a natural part
to realize this is a natural part
of the bowel movement process,
of the bowel movement process,
to allow the signal
to allow the signal
from my brain
from my brain
and my intestines
and my intestines
to tell my sphincter
to tell my sphincter
it's okay to allow a natural, easy release
it's okay to allow for a natural, easy release
without me having to strain so hard
without me having to strain so hard,
under the arm, even though my body is still adjusting.
even though my body is still adjusting.
It's so healthy for me
It's so healthy for me
and my body
and my body
to allow that easy release
to allow that easy release
instead of everything getting stuck at the end.
instead of everything getting stuck at the end.
Side of the thumb. I allow my body
I allow my body
in its infinite wisdom
in its infinite wisdom
to heed that signal
to heed that signal
that I can release
that I can release
any bowel movement
any bowel movement
comfortably and easily
comfortably and easily
when it's time,
when it's time,
when I want to,
when I want to,
just like it did before.
just like it did before.
Index finger, it has that memory.
It has that memory.
It has that muscle memory.
It has that muscle memory.
And all it needs to do
And all it needs to do
is listen to that signal
is listen to that signal
when I give it the signal to release.
when I give it the signal to release.
Middle finger, I accept my body
I accept my body
going through this healing process.
going through the healing process.
I allow my body
I allow my body
to heal and release
to heal and release
whatever it needs to right now,
whatever it needs to right now,
to listen to that signal coming from from your brain
to listen to that signal coming from my brain
and from my intestines
and from my intestines
and the rest of my body
and the rest of my body,
to activate my sphincter
to activate my sphincter
for an easy release
for an easy release
when I sit down to have a bowel movement.
when I sit down to have a bowel movement.
Little finger, I'd love for my body to act like that. Little finger,
I love for my body to act like that,
just like it did before,
just like it did before,
to allow an easy release
to allow for an easy release
when I sit down to have a bowel movement.
when I sit down to have a bowel movement.
On the karate chop, completely releasing the need to strain,
To completely release without the need to strain,
completely release without getting stuck at any point,
to completely release without getting stuck at any point,
to allow this process to happen
To allow the process to
the
happen,
natural process
the natural process
of having a bowel movement,
of having a bowel movement,
just like it did before
just like it did before
I had this operation.
I had the operation.
All right, so tap on the back of the hand on the gamut point. Okay, so when you think about having a bowel movement, having to strain, the fear is that the body is learning a new habit, that this is going to continue happening, and that you're what's the
Yeah, I feel like when I first came home, I did have a few bowel movements.
okay,
And
so when you
then-
tap here, you want to feel the indentation, make a fist. Okay, feel that indentation behind the baby finger and the ring finger. That's where you're tapping. Okay. Okay, so when you came home, it was happening
I had
naturally.
a few normal ones and then became more difficult. And then now it feels like I've developed a habit of, because when I was in the hospital, what they do is if it doesn't help, they go to extreme measures where they tell you, stick a finger in and do all this kind of stuff, which because it's a real problem after operations with all the stuff you're getting. But now it's over a month and I'm still straining, even though I know I'm still definitely inflamed, but it should be getting better, and it doesn't seem to be. And now it's sort of, I almost think like my body has been trained now by me stimulating it, not doing finger entry or anything like that, but just kind of like rubbing it or trying to, loosen it up by just sort of using my hand to rub it, etc. And I think that it almost feels like my body's become used to that mechanism as opposed to why can't it just do it on its own?
Okay. Let's go to the eyebrow. Even though my body's become used to this mechanism,
Even though my body's become used to this mechanism,
corner of the eye, I'm no longer in the hospital under all this medication.
I am no longer in the hospital under all this medication.
Under the eye. It's time for my body to heal on its own.
It's time for my body to heal on its own.
Under the nose, I've been giving it all the assistance it's needed
I've been giving it all the assistance it's needed
long enough.
long enough.
And now it's time for those natural processes to take over
And now it's time for the natural processes to take over
on the chin, so that I no longer need to activate the whole, the whole,
sphincter relaxation. So I no longer need to activate the whole sphincter relaxation.
on the collarbone. It can do it on its own,
It can do it on its own,
just like it did before.
just like it did before.
Center of the chest. I'm healing.
I'm healing.
My body is healing.
My body is healing.
And instead of developing a new habit
And instead of developing a new habit
of me helping it along to release,
of me helping it along to release,
it's time for it to learn how to remember how to do this on its own.
it's time for my body to remember how to do this on its own.
Under the arm, I've been helping it long enough,
I've been helping it long enough,
doing what I need to do.
doing what I need to do.
And now it's time for my sphincter
Now it's time for my sphincter
to take over from me
to take over from me
and do what it needs to do on its own.
and do what it needs to do on its own.
I have faith and trust that it knows how to do this.
I have faith and trust that it knows how to do this.
I have faith and trust in my body,
I have faith and trust in my body,
remembering how easy it is
remembering how easy it is
to have a bowel movement
to have a bowel movement
without me having to pay so much attention to the process.
without me having to pay so much attention to the process.
Side of the thumb. I've done what I need to do throughout this healing.
I've done what I need to do throughout this healing.
Index finger. And now it's time for my sphincter to take over
And now it's time for my sphincter to take over
and do its job.
and do its job,
Middle finger to allow me to release
to allow me to release
and have a normal bowel movement
and have a normal bowel movement
without pushing and
without pushing,
Straining.
straining,
and trying other things to help it along.
and trying other things to help it along.
Middle finger. I'd love for my body
I love for my body
and my sphincter
and my sphincter
to have the process be natural and easy,
to have the process be natural and easy,
once again,
once again,
like it was before.
like it was before,
Karate chop, allowing me to sit on the toilet,
allowing me to sit on the toilet,
to give the signal
to give the signal,
to have a natural bowel movement
to have a natural bowel movement,
and have my sphincter respond
and have my sphincter respond
quickly and easily,
quickly and easily,
naturally,
naturally,
and in a healthy, gentle manner.
and in a healthy, disciplined manner.
Let's take a deep breath. Okay, so thinking about going to the bathroom, does that bring up any anxiety, any fear, anything that brings up any tension or tightness in your body?
I think it does, yeah.
Okay. All right, so on a scale from 0 to 10, is it fear, anxiety, tension?
Uh, Anxiety, I'd say, I don't know, maybe a 5.
Okay. Do you feel it anywhere in your physical body?
You mean now or just thinking about it
Just
prior
thinking
to?
about it, yeah.
It just, it brings up, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. I haven't been going, it's time to go. I feel like it's gonna go. So it's just, I'm thinking about it. I'm focusing on it. I'm concerned about it. I'm worried. So it's just, it occupies my brain for sure. It provides a sort of stress.
Okay. Okay, so let's tap the karate chops and say, even though just thinking about going to the bathroom,
Even just thinking about going to the
I
bathroom,
have this anxiety and stress response in my body and my brain.
I have this anxiety and stress response in my body and my brain.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself
I deeply and completely love and accept myself
and how I feel.
and how I feel.
Even though I'm focused and concerned and worried
Even though I'm focused, concerned, and worried
about what's going to happen
about what's going to happen,
when I feel the urge to go to the bathroom,
when I feel the urge to go to the bathroom,
but I have this anxiety and this stress
but I have this anxiety and stress
that it's not going to be an easy process.
that it's not going to be an easy process.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway,
and forgive my body
and forgive my body
for teaching me that it's going to be a difficult process,
for teaching me that it's going to be a difficult process.
so that I create this anxiety and this stress
So I create this anxiety and stress
and all these thoughts that occupy my brain.
and all these thoughts that occupy my brain.
Because when I have this anxiety and this stress,
Because when I have this anxiety and stress,
it causes everything in my body
it causes everything in my body
to react in such a way
to react in such a way
that I'm no longer relaxed.
that I'm no longer relaxed.
And the process, and even before I begin the process,
And even before I begin the process,
I have all this tension
I have all these tensions
and all this tightness
and all this tightness
and all these thoughts going through my head
and all these thoughts going through my head
that might be impeding the natural, normal,
that might be impeding the natural, normal,
comfortable and easy
comfortable and easy
releasing process.
releasing process.
And on the eyebrow, all these thoughts going through my brain,
All these thoughts going through my brain,
corner of the eye, all this concern
all this concern,
that I'm going to have to stress and strain
and I'm going to have this stress and strain,
under the eye, all these worries
all these worries,
under the nose, all this anxiety
all the anxiety,
on the chin, all this stress that's going through my body
all the stress that's going through my body,
on the collarbone, because it's been a stressful process,
because it's been a stressful process,
center of the chest, trying to get my body to release and relax,
trying to get my body to release and relax.
under the arm, whenever I want to have a bowel movement,
Whenever I want to have a bowel movement,
side of the thumb, I choose to find a way,
I choose to find a way
index finger, to feel more comfortable
to feel more comfortable
throughout my body.
throughout my body.
Middle finger, I accept having this anxiety and this stress
I accept having the anxiety and stress
because of what I've been going through.
because of what I've been going through.
It's a normal reaction,
It's a normal reaction,
but I allow my body
but I allow my body
and my mind
and my mind
to release all these thoughts,
to release all these thoughts,
these concerns,
concern,
and these worries
and the worries
that are causing my body to feel stressed
that are causing my body to feel stressed
and anxious
and be anxious
and tighten up
and tighten up
and anything else
and anything else
that is stopping the natural, comfortable release
that is stopping the natural, comfortable release
when my brain and my body,
from my brain and my body
when I send these signals
when I send these signals
to the sphincter
to the sphincter
that it's time to go to the bathroom.
that it's time to go to the bathroom.
Little finger. I can remember
I can remember
not even thinking about the process,
not even thinking about the process,
just having it be a natural release.
having it be a natural release.
And I'd love for that to happen again
And I would really love for that to happen again
on the karate chop by releasing and relaxing
by releasing and relaxing
all this anxiety and stress
all this anxiety and stress
from my brain
from my brain
and my body,
and my body,
especially when I sit down to go to the bathroom.
especially when I sit down to go to the bathroom.
Okay, tap on the back of the hand. And now think about having to go to the bathroom. Think about sitting on the toilet. How's the anxiety level? Is that still a 5?
Yeah,
Okay, and what's the number one anxiety? What's the number one
and I'm
thought?
gonna have to push to get it going.
Okay, so think about, I'm going to have to push to get it going.
I'm gonna have to push to get it going.
Okay, and look straight ahead and keep tapping here and and close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down to the floor to the right. Down to the left. And without moving your head, just roll your eyes around in a circle in one direction. Okay, and then in the opposite direction. Okay, and hum. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and hum again.
Mm.
I'll go back to the eyebrow. This thought that I'm going to have to push to get it going.
Thought that I'm gonna have to push to get it going.
Corner of the eye. Pushing is natural
Pushing is natural,
under the eye, but lately I've had to strain really hard
but lately I've had to strain really hard.
under the nose, and I still have some of this anxiety
I still have some of this anxiety
that I'm going to have to push to get it going.
that I'm gonna have to push to get it going.
On the chin, letting go of all this anxiety.
Letting go of all this anxiety.
On the collarbone, maybe pushing can be part of the natural process.
Maybe pushing can be part of the natural process
Center of the chest without having to strain so hard.
without having to strain so hard.
Under the arm, and letting my body take over
Letting my body take over
whenever I start the pushing process.
whenever I start to push the process.
Side of the thumb. I'd love to let go of this anxiety
I'd love to let go of this anxiety
so that I can let go, of the pushing process,
so I can let go of the pushing process
middle finger, and have it be a natural process again.
and have it be a natural process again.
Little finger, releasing all this anxiety,
Releasing all this anxiety,
allowing it to be a natural, normal process.
allowing it to be a natural, normal process.
On the karate chop, trusting my body
Trusting my body
that it knows how to do this for me.
that it knows how to do this for itself.
Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, think about sitting down to go to the bathroom. Is it still a 5 anxiety?
It doesn't feel that way now.
How does it feel?
Well, hopefully it feels like I can relax when I sit down.
Okay. Okay, is there any doubt there about relaxing, worry?
No, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
All right, well, that's really helpful.
Okay, so when you're sitting on the toilet and you start getting anxious and you still have to stress and all that, you're no longer in this clinical situation with me, you're like in the moment. So try just going through the tapping points and telling yourself, this is a natural process, my body knows how to do this. And just go through the points and tap and see if that doesn't help relax the body so that the natural
Okay.
process can take over. Because you're in the
Okay.
moment, okay? And you don't really even have to say anything. Whatever thoughts are going through your head, your system knows what you're thinking, and just get it to relax by doing the tapping,
Okay,
okay? And
All right.
sometimes, if it doesn't work and you're getting pissed, that's okay. Then do what I call angry tapping. I'm so pissed at my body. This isn't working. Why aren't you working? You know,
okay,
okay, because sometimes things happen and I can't tap them away. So sometimes I get pissed and I really scream out and tap and it helps.
okay,
Okay, so
Right.
whatever's going through your brain, whatever you're thinking, those are your thoughts. That's what it's affecting your system. So just let them out. And while you tap, you're calming down your system. You're balancing your system. So you're letting your body know, you're letting your energy system know that even though you have these thoughts, you don't have to go into the stress reaction. You can now calm yourself and let your body, when you're calm, your body can take over and do what it needs to do.
okay.
Make sense?
All right, well, very helpful. I didn't realize you would take so much time with me, but that's great.
Okay.
All right, I actually have a catheter scheduled now I have to go
Okay.
to.
Same
But I
thing,
do-
you know, when you're doing the catheter and you feel the stress and then, you know, just do some tapping.
All right,
Okay, and remember, this is back here is to massage this point on the back of the hand. That's the stress response. That's the fight or flight response. So sometimes just massaging that will help bring it down.
okay,
I know your hands might be busy, you know, doing other things, but that's the go-to in the moment first aid kind of thing.
all right,
Okay.
perfect. All right,
Right.
thank you again, Gwen.
All right, I love you. Let me know
Love
if you,
you.
how you're doing, and we can keep this going, you know, just keep it going
Yeah.
until we get results.
Okay, I'm gonna try, keep it going. And
Okay.
that'd be great if you could send the link when it records.
Okay,
All right, thank you again. I appreciate it.
all right, love you.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.